I'm Lydia Snyder. Thanks for tuning in. We've got about a half-hour segment coming up here, and it includes some chair-based movement, breath awareness, and a full-body guided relaxation practice. If you're an LMHF subscriber, in order to get credit for participating in this session, you need to watch the entire video and at the end leave a comment with your name. And that way LMHF can keep track of participation and you get credit towards your programming. So please grab yourself a chair. If you want anything to rest your feet on, you might grab that as well. And settle into your seat. Allow yourself to sit up as tall as possible. And notice that what we'll be working with is the breath. So for some people that can be disquieting. So this may not be a practice for everyone. You're welcome to give it a try and see how it lands with you. As you all know, we're breathing day and night, but often without paying much attention to it. So I want to invite everyone to take this time to really explore your own breath. Our nervous systems are finely tied to our breathing. When we're in a state of agitation or fight or flight, of being stressed out, the dynamics of the body change. The communication from the autonomic nervous system to every cell and organ in our body becomes disrupted. But we have the capacity to interrupt that stress response by altering our breath. But it takes practice. It's not a switch that we can turn on and off. Most of us do not breathe in the most efficient way. But this brief practice is an introduction to what's known as diaphragmatic breathing. And what that means is that your diaphragm muscle that sits under your rib cage is our primary muscle for breathing. And it allows us to breathe in the most energy efficient way possible. Meaning that we're asking the least of our bodies. And because so many of us are stretched thin, we want to be able to conserve energy within our bodies. So that diaphragm muscle pulls down so that the lungs can expand and fill, and it pushes up so that the lungs can contract and we exhale. So for the purposes of this exercise, we're going to start to notice the breath and then join movement with the breath to kind of prepare the body to move into what's known as a resting and digesting stage. Because we're running oftentimes on an accelerated pace. Our nervous system is somewhat activated. So in order for us to reap the benefits, we want to slow things down a little bit and to invite some relaxation into what might be a rather tense or activated physical body. So find your own breath, maybe by placing a hand on your chest or on your belly, maybe at the sides of your ribs. Perhaps for the first time today, give yourself a chance to truly feel your breath. To notice the inhale and exhale. To allow for that expansion and contraction. And to realize that there's a pace that's natural for you. The duration of your inhale and exhale. You might notice that your breath seems shaky. Notice it without judgment if possible. Just gathering that information. Keeping in mind that it is a process and this is just one step. So as you find your breath, allow one inhale to weave into the exhale. Maybe rest your arms down by the sides of your chair or hold on to the sides of the chair for support if you feel that's useful. And on your next inhale, extend your right leg out. Exhale, point the toes away from you. Inhale, flex. And move with your breath here. Engaging the muscles of the upper leg, pointing and flexing through the ankle. And lowering down. Still working with your own breath pace, extending through the left leg. Bear in mind that maybe for you, lifting means an inch off the ground. Still an option to point and flex as you inhale and exhale. So working with your body. Bringing your feet back down under the knees. Arms can come down by the sides of the body. As you inhale, bend at the elbows. Bring the arms up. Exhale, return. Using that breath to suggest the movement. And then transition as you're able to bring the hands up towards the tops of the shoulders. As you exhale, draw your elbows towards one another. Inhale, open up, maybe find some expansion as you squeeze the shoulder blades. Working with the breath. Movement with each inhale and exhale. Coming back down, still paying attention to the breath. Moving up in the seat just a little bit here. Starting with the arms reaching in front of the body. And as you exhale, turning to the right. Come back to center, turning to the left. So again, the inhale and the exhale suggest the movement here. Suggest the pace. Perhaps one more. Coming back to center, resting the hands at the edges of the knees and dropping the chin towards the chest. As you exhale, as you inhale, lifting the chin, looking up. Exhale, dropping down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the chin. Your breath suggesting the movement. Maybe for 3 and 2 and 1. You're welcome to take your right leg out. Extend through the edge of your foot. As you inhale, sit up tall. As you exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, hinge. Sit up. And hinge. If you like, stay in this forward fold. Inhale, raise the arm. Exhale, let it come down. Working with your breath here. And return. Switching the legs out, stretching through the sole of the left foot. Inhaling, sitting up tall. Exhale, hinging forward. So again, you find your tempo. You find your pace based on the breath. Option if you like. Hinge forward and then action with the arm, reaching up and down. Maybe 2 more. And 1 more. And coming back to center. Sitting back in your chair. Finding a wide reach with both arms, turning the palms to face forward. Reaching out as far as you possibly can. And on your next exhale, Bringing the arms forward, rounding the spine, and then folding forward. You might use your hands for support, but you might come all the way forward. Wherever you find yourself, notice the breath in this somewhat contained form. You may be taking more effort to fill and empty the lungs as you fold forward. Coming to sit upright, letting the lungs expand and have the fullness as you rest your back. Bringing the hands to rest on the legs. Finding your breath once again. Remembering you can use the hands if that's useful for you. You may feel an uptick in your heart rate. You may feel like you're breathing a little faster than you expect. But know that that changes. Know that the pace of the breath can adjust. Closing your eyes if you wish. Tuning that awareness to the fluctuations of your own breath. Trying to notice if the breath is smooth, if it's silent, if it's steady. Gathering that information and noticing how you hold your body. If there's tension, gripping, maybe letting the chair that you find yourself in or the floor hold some of that, support you in a way that lets you release. So as you inhale, you're aware of filling. And as you exhale, you're aware of emptying. When you inhale, you become aware of being nourished. And as you exhale, you become aware of the cleansing. You notice these subtle changes in your own body. You notice them without judgment. You invite the breath to move as freely as possible, without constriction, without containment. Letting that inhale and exhale move freely. Supporting the body. Encouraging that rest and digest sensation, that state of being. Following your breath. And as you establish your own steady, smooth, silent breath, whether your eyes are opened or closed, consider the space, the very edge of the forehead, coming down towards the eyebrows. And maybe allowing for a little bit of ease there. Maybe dialing back if there's tightness or tension. Allowing for a bit of smoothness through the eyebrows, the forehead, the eyes. Feeling the touch of the breath, the edge of the nose. Considering the space of your cheeks. And as goofy as it may sound, you may want to blow out the cheeks. Stretching the skin of the sides of the face. Maybe moving towards the jaw and the tightness and tension that many people have there by opening and closing the jaw. Moving from side to side maybe. Inviting that sense of ease all throughout the face. Moving down the front of the throat and neck. Moving out to the right shoulder. Pausing to breathe just at the right shoulder. Down to the elbow and the wrist. And maybe consider your breath at the tip of each fingertip, bringing in what you need and taking away what you don't. Each breath bringing that possibility. And from the fingertips of your right hand, traveling back through the lower right arm and the upper right arm. Moving across the shoulder, the collarbone. Maybe pausing right in the center line of your body, swallowing a few times here. And then you're welcome to bring the awareness of your breath over to the left shoulder. Down to the left elbow, the left wrist. And again, you have that option to consider the power of your breath at each fingertip. Nourishing and cleansing, revitalizing as you inhale and exhale. And from the tips of the left hand, traveling back up the lower left arm, upper left arm, across that collarbone to the center line. Become aware of your breath as you move down along your sternum. Noticing that expansion as you inhale and that contraction as you exhale. Using the hands, if it's useful for you, to monitor the breath in the belly. Letting it rise and fall. Letting go of any tension, or tightness, or restriction that you have in your midsection. And letting the belly move freely. Allowing for that breath to be as full as possible. And from the belly, you might bring your awareness to the top of the left hip. And down along the upper right leg to the knee. The lower right leg to the ankle. And bring your awareness of your breath to the tip of each toe on the right foot. Acknowledging the inhale and the exhale. That's perfectly suited to support your body. You might bring the attention from the toes to the sole of your right foot. And from the ankle of the right foot, along the calf muscle, to the knee, and the upper right leg, over to the left hip, down along the upper left leg to the knee, down to the ankle. And again, you might consider your breath at each toe tip, bringing in and taking away, nourishing and cleansing each breath. And from the sole of your left foot, traveling up the calf to the knee, to the upper left leg. And whether you're seated or lying down, allow for a release of tension at your seat. If there's any gripping or tightness, maybe allow yourself to release a little bit there. To know that the floor or the chair will continue to support you. And bring your awareness from the base of your spine up towards the waist, past the ribs, towards the shoulders, to the back of your neck, and the very crown of your head. And to your own ability, you're welcome to consider the entire body breathing from fingertip to fingertip, and from the tips of your toes to the top of your head, as if the entire body is breathing. Taking the awareness in the mind and attaching it to the breath so that the mind can rest and maybe the body can rest. To whatever extent you're able, let your body become a vessel for the breath, to invite that sense of rest and digest, of relaxation and ease. If your eyes were closed, you might choose to open them. Bring a little movement to your extremities. Notice your own breath. And notice your own capacity to maybe pay attention to things that you didn't notice before. So if there is a pause in the breathing, if there is a tendency to hold the breath, you become aware of it. And you work along a practice of easing that so that you can move toward a smooth breath that's steady and silent, that uses the power of the diaphragm muscle to allow for the most efficient breath, and in turn that allows the nervous system to rest in a state of ease that so many of us can benefit from. So using this practice whenever you're inclined to work on your own breath so that you might allow for that sensation of relaxation to be experienced from head to toe and fingertip to fingertip. Thank you for viewing this video. You're welcome to view it in the future if you find it useful. Thank you for your time.